Now, take the city-centric Jacinta Allen outfit, and I know she lives in Bendigo, but most of her government are based in the city. Well, they are meddling in an issue they know absolutely nothing about, and that's kangaroos. Yes, believe it or not. Anyone watching tonight who's driven on a country road knows Australia and every state of the country has a massive problem with the kangaroo population. Indeed, feral deer as well. Now, all of those country roads, anyone you drive on, is littered with animal carcasses, mostly kangaroos. Now, a flawed quota scheme to cull kangaroos is making things worse. Of almost 140,000 permits in Victoria issued to shoot grey kangaroos, and they're all issued to commercial shooters, just 60,000 roos were shot. Farmers are tearing their hair out. For more, I'm joined by the leader of the Victorian Nationals, Peter Walsh. Great to catch up with you again. Peter, what's gone wrong here?
What's gone wrong here, Steve, is that the Allen government, as you have said, has taken a very simple program that was put in place under our government and made it that complicated that it's not working now. It is impossible for the shooters to actually meet their targets. The viability of their businesses has gone down, and the government wants it to fail. The government wants it to fail as a simple thing because they don't believe we should be shooting kangaroos. Go to any panel beater in a country town, go to any car insurance company, and you will hear the stories that kangaroo collisions are the biggest threat on our roads of any other collision.
Yeah, look, I feel for you, Peter, the amount of country driving you do. I mean, if you're not trying to avoid a kangaroo, you're trying to avoid a pothole. It's a miracle you actually get home at all without damaging your car or injuring yourself.
Tragically, over the last few years, I average one kangaroo per year, Steve, and that's an insurance claim, cars off the road, and everyone has that problem as we go out there. And what we don't want to see is lives lost because of kangaroos. But what we do want to see is actually a system that is simple, that enables the sustainable take of kangaroos. No one wants to eliminate kangaroos, but they don't want to see the population continuing to grow. And what we find is that you've got kangaroos breeding up on public land that then go out on the private land and are effectively eating farmers out of house and home.
So what was the simplistic way it worked in the past that the Allen government's trashed?
So before, you could get a controlled wildlife permit, you could engage a commercial shooter, they would go and shoot them. There was a tag system that put them through a meat plant where they were processed for pet food. You've now got a complicated process of harvesting permits, wildlife control permits. You can't use the kangaroo shot under a wildlife control permit for commercial use. They have to be shot and dropped and buried on site instead of being used. And the red tape just means that the harvesters are not getting enough product to make it viable for those to actually do it. Pet food consumers love kangaroo meat. It's lean meat. It's better for their pets than commercial animals. So there is a market there, but there's not the supply because the government has just made so much red tape around it that it's just not working.
Peter, am I right also that the Green activists have managed to get a ban on the export of roo hides?
They have. And if you think about the partnerships that have been going on in Victoria between the Labor Party, between the Greens and between the Animal Justice Party, this failure of the whole system is effectively the bureaucracy pandering to the Greens, pandering to the Animal Justice Party, because they actually don't believe in the fact that we need to control wildlife. You mentioned deer in your introduction. Huge deer issue, particularly in the eastern part of Victoria, and they are even more dangerous. You hit a big deer, they will cause significant damage to your car. If they come through the windscreen, there's an issue of a potential fatality as well.
Is this a problem in other states as well, or is it worse in Victoria because those deals that the Allen Labor government's had to do with, as you say, the Greens and Animal Justice?
Well, it's worse in Victoria because effectively if you want to buy kangaroo for human consumption, it comes from New South Wales or South Australia. We cannot have kangaroo shot in Victoria used for human consumption. And a lot of the pet food that's coming in is coming from New South Wales and South Australia as well, because they know they have to control their kangaroos and keep them at a sustainable level, or a level that doesn't lead to the overpopulation and all those kangaroos that are coming closer into the urban areas and always on our highways. As you said, everywhere you drive now, you'll see roadkill. Go to any country town, talk to the panel beaters, and you'll find that the majority of their business is actually because of people hitting kangaroos.
Staggering. Pete, great to catch up as usual. Thanks a lot, mate.